Hello everyone, in this short tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use this AI agent on Task AGI to automate your marketing on Reddit. So this agent, basically, it keeps track of your keywords, industry, brand names, and competitors. And as soon as someone mentions any of these keywords, your agent will join the conversation and contribute in a meaningful way. If there's an opportunity to promote whatever you're selling, it's going to promote it. It could be a software, application, physical product, e-commerce business, or a service. It doesn't matter. Most importantly, comments it generates sound nothing like AI. They're incredibly engaging and sound just like your average Redditor. In fact, you're gonna find yourself getting a lot of upvotes and actual replies since you provide genuine value. Now, setting up this agent, it takes less than 5 minutes because everything is already built for you. And all you have to do is simply click on this deploy agent button, and it's going to take you to this page. Now, this AI agent actually requires a few integrations before we can actually start promoting on Reddit. First, it's a tool called F5, which is going to track keywords on Reddit. Another is obviously Reddit, Google Sheets. It's for keeping track of which posts we actually replied before. So we don't keep posting inside the same thread over and over. Another one is Anthropic to generate the text. So let's head over to integrations and I'm going to show you how you could connect them. Let's get started with Reddit. So I already have an account connected, but basically you're gonna have to go to this application page on Reddit and create a new app. Just enter your details such as name and select the web app. Enter a description, about URL, which you could leave empty. But most importantly, for the redirect URI, you have to enter this. Simply copy and paste it just like it. And when you're done, click on Create App, and Reddit is gonna give you two important strings. First is client ID and client secret. Simply save them, and you're gonna see this authentication button. Click on it and it's gonna take you to Reddit. Just follow their steps. You're gonna be done in a few seconds. Next up, let's go back to integrations page and let's see, find Google Sheets. It's a lot easier to connect Google. Simply enter a name for your application and click on connect. It's going to ask you whether you want to connect to Task AGI, click on yes, and you're gonna be done. And finally, you're gonna have to go to this website called F5 Bots. So it's basically a keyword alert system. You're gonna enter your keywords that you wanna monitor and keep track of and create it. These are actually keywords that I'm targeting. It's our brand name and, like, for example, text to speech. If you have competitors like 11 Labs and Play HD. So whatever keywords you think it's actually going to bring you customers, enter them all over here. And inside your account, you're gonna get a RSS feed just like this. You're gonna have to copy this. So we are pretty much done with the integrations. We can actually go back to our dashboard and select our agent. So if you've made it this far, congratulations, you are ready to run your agent. But before we do, let's familiarize ourselves with how our agent workflow works, because this is where all the magic happens. Now, our agent workflow starts with this schedule interval trigger node. It's automatically set to 60 minutes for you, but you can increase or decrease depending on how often you want to post. So let's click on apply, and our next node is RSS feed. Open its configuration, and you must get your RSS link from F5 and copy paste it over here. Make sure there are no spaces. Our item identifier is going to be a link URL. Let's click on apply and move on. So the reason we have this logical if condition is because, just like I do, it's possible that there are multiple keywords that you're monitoring that belong to different businesses or agents. For example, Task AGI has a lot of AI models and agents. For example, text to speech, or Reddit marketing, or AI agents at marketing. All these keywords belong to different agents. So this if condition here allows us to comment on only relevant posts. So, our comments make sense. So, for example, over here, let's click on value 2, which is just over here, and put AI agent, which is one of the keywords we are actually tracking. Let's enable it. As you see, in the past 7 days, there are over 2,000 mentions of these words. So, if there are more keywords you want your agent to respond to, you could add another condition. Simply copy this value and put over here is the operator, select contains, and this is going to be your second keyword. But for this agent, we don't need it, so I'm going to remove this. Let's click on apply and move on. So this is another important step. When we are applying, we don't want to sound just like another bot. So the only way to make sure we sound as authentic as possible is if we could give our AI as much context as possible. We do that by analyzing the main post and dozens of comments. Just look at what other people are saying and construct your message based on what people agree with. So instead of getting, dozens of downvotes, we're going to get upvotes, and people are going to be replying, engaging with our comment. So just make sure you select your Reddit account over here, or it's not going to work. 50 comments is good enough. Click on apply and let's move on. So why we have this Google Sheets node over here? It basically keeps track of what posts we already replied to. You don't want to accidentally keep writing comments inside the same post over and over. Like when we were building this agent, we've made this mistake once. We didn't keep track of our posts, and I went to bed and woke up. I was actually banned from the subreddit for 2 weeks because there were like 70 of AI generated posts, AI generated comment inside the same post. So this was a mistake I've made, but it's one way we could fix it. All you have to do is create a Google Sheet. It's going to be empty. Don't worry about filling anything. Click on share, give it a name if you want, and select anyone with the link. Copy the link Google gives you and go back to your agent. Simply put it over here. Also make sure to select your authenticated Google account. Click on apply and we are done. So our next condition, it checks if we've already replied to this post. If we did, it simply ends the agent with this no operation node. It's simply going to give this message, we already posted a reply in this thread, and kill the agent. As I said, all of this is already set up for you. So if we haven't replied to this post yet, the next logical step is generating the comment. For this, we are using Cloud by Anthropic. So let's click on config for Anthropic. This prompt over here, it works extremely well. The comments it writes, like, you cannot tell them apart from real Reddit comments. It even artificially repeats common human errors such as typos, even like swear words. You could select any model you want, but for our purpose, Sonnet 4 works great for us. Also make sure to select your Anthropic account, apply, and so the next step is we actually post to Reddit. Also authenticate this node for which is responsible to posting to Reddit, and save. We are actually done. As the last step, our agent is going to put our link in this Google Sheet over here. So we have to also make sure we have our Google Sheet. Again, select your Google account, apply, and save. Now that's pretty much it. At this point, all you have to do is activate your agent and watch it work for you 24/7, promoting your business. But before actually letting it, run on schedule, I recommend running it manually, just to familiarize yourself and how the execution results actually look like. If you don't like our prompt, for example, you could customize it. Let's run it and see what's the output. So it says no matching keyword found because there's nothing new we could reply to. I'm actually going to pause the video and come back when we have a new post we could reply to. Alright, so I ran the agent manually one more time, and this is the JSON output. This looks a bit complicated, so let's open our history. It's loading our execution history, and this is our latest run. You could browse the results node by node. For example, let's check, for example, the text we've generated. This is how it actually looks like. As you see, it chose not to promote the business because it thought it doesn't actually make sense to, promote our business in that context. So we wanted to give our agent this kind of freedom, so we are not spamming Reddit constantly. From time to time, we are actually engaging in meaningful conversations, providing real value without being salesy. And our final result is it actually updated our Google Sheet with the post link after successfully creating our comment on Reddit. Now let's go back to list, and I'm gonna run it a few more times. Let's see. As you see, it says we already posted a reply in this thread. What happened is, it's possible, for example, multiple people talk about a keyword we are tracking inside the same post, and we are still gonna get new items for that keyword in our RSS feed, but our agent, intelligently skips that one because it knows we already have a comment, have a post in that thread. So this is a real life example how it works. I'm gonna run this one more time. Okay, we've created another post. Let's open our history and see how it looks like. So here's what it says. Sounds like a cool concept. AI workflow automation is definitely having a moment right now. Blah, 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 blah. Are you planning to support things like voice interfaces or TTS? You know, the reason it says this because it's trying to start a conversation where we could actually promote our AI model for text to speech.